Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Can someone confirm that my sound is coming?
It's coming.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
coming.
All right. Okay. Tato nishkramya lankaya yatu dhanyas sahasrashah mandodarya samang tatra prarudantya upadravan swan swan bandhun parishvajya lakshmaneshu bhirarditan rurudususvarang dinaghantya atmanamatmana. So the first word is tato. Tato. And by Sandhi rule, we know that it's tataha. So tataha. What things could be tataha? Okay.
Therefore.
It could be therefore, one of the things. So first of all, the word is tad, okay? It's okay. It's a pronoun. Tad. And tataha. Tataha is 5-1, yeah? So what vibhakti is here? What exact ending? Because I know that 5-1 of tad is tasmat or tasya or or tasyaha. So how is tataha? Why tataha is 5.1?
That's similar to like mataha.
Okay, so there is a suffix, okay? Tas. Tadhita suffix tas. And it makes words mean the fifth case. That specific suffix. So therefore it could be, so therefore fifth case has meanings of cause, okay, reason, or a source. So either it's from or because of that, either from that or because of that. Nishkramya. So I can see an action there. It's a Vedanta. We call it gerund, yeah, and it comes from nis plus kram. The root is kram. And ya, which is nothing else but the changed form of tva. Oh, I'm losing it. Anyway. So kram means to move, to like to step, okay? To make a step, to like it's specifically in an orderly way. So nishkram means to basically to come out. Okay, so come out in a gerund form will sound as coming out or having come out. Lankaya. That's a noun. Feminine noun. Lanka. So which possibility?
5.1. 5.1 or 6.1, but here is 5.1.
Yeah. And the ending, what is the ending actually?
Lankayaha.
Yes, there is visarga. And it disappears because of the Sandhi rule. So from or of Lanka. Yatu dhanya. We had that word few verses ago. So yatudha. So let's remind ourselves what yatudhana. Okay. Yatudhana. Okay. So yatu. We have it listed as yatu, an evil spirit, a demon, and later on it's also listed as yatudhana, an evil spirit, a demon. Okay. So the demons, because Lanka was populated by the race of demons. So. But we have a bit interesting form here. Dhanyaha. So if the word is yatu dhana, then why it's yatu dhanyaha? You cannot find it in the vibhakti table for the nouns ending in a. So what's happening here?
Is it an adjective?
No, it is a proper noun. Yeah, so it's a kind of it's a riddle. If you know your vibhakti tables, you can solve it. It's not there in a table of masculine nouns ending in a. What does it look like? If you didn't know that it's yatudhana.
Yatudani.
Yes, exactly. Yatudhani with a long E. Okay. And what this ending, so from yatudhana becomes yatudhani. Yatudhani. Okay. It's a, yeah, by a specific tadvita suffix you can change the gender of a word ending in short a. It's called eep suffix. Okay. And like gopa becomes gopi, in the same way yatudhana becomes yatudhani. So demonesses. And what case is this if it's yatudhani? Yatudhanyaha.
1.3, 1.3, 2.3.
Yeah, it could be these two possibilities. Next, sahasrashaha. Sahasrashaha. Well, we know sahasra means 1,000, but what does that ending do to it? Sahasrashaha.
It's 5.1 or 6.1 case.
Sorry?
It's a 5.1 or 6.1.
No. It's not an ending because the word is sahasra. And we have shaha here. Does anybody know? Just like that.
It's an indeclinable.
In undeclinable, yeah. So it makes it undeclinable and it adds something to the meaning. So if sahasra means 1,000, then Manohara Prabhu, what?
By 1,000.
Okay. Or we can say in thousands. In thousands. Yeah, Mandodarya. Oh, sorry. Here we need to change in feminine. feminine. And we have Mandodarya. So
Now feminine 3.1.
feminine 3.1 of Mandodari. Yes. Mandodariya. So how we translate it then?
Led by Mandodari.
Could be by or with. Let's say with. Mandodari. So what does Mandodari mean? Anybody can? It's
Wife of Ravana.
yeah, but literally.
Large belly.
Well, Manda means opposite, like a dull or thin. You know, usually it has a negative connotation. Okay, like Manda Buddhi. Okay, with small intelligence, but here we have a woman, and she has a thin belly. Means it's actually it's a complimentary. Yeah, so her name indicates that she had a thin a small belly, thin waist, in other words. So Mandodari.
Even for a Rakshasi is a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah, well, by the way, just let me share with you one thing. I heard somewhere in Ramayana, it might not have been Valmiki Ramayana, or it may be the Tamil Kambar Ramayana, or anyway, there are few Ramayanas traditionally, apart from Valmiki, that when Hanuman went to Lanka and he was searching for Sita, he went all over the place and he observed the city. So when he actually saw Ravana, he couldn't believe it was Ravana because he was very beautiful. And Hanuman was quite surprised by that. Like, he heard he's a demon and he kidnapped, but then he was expecting to see somebody, not so attractive or ferocious, but actually he saw Ravana as very kind of effulgent and beautiful. So anyway, so yeah, Mandodari. Samam next. Samam. What is samam? Well, samam could be a form of the word sama, means equal. Yeah, and it could be it's an adjective just by its meaning. So it could be masculine 2.1 or neuter 1.1, 2.1. Now, if we look around in the verse, do we see any masculine second vibhakti singular in any word in the verse? We don't. Do we see any neuter word first or second vibhakti? No, we don't. So what else could samam mean? Could it be? It could be an avyaya. If you look in your avyaya list, samam means together. Okay, samam. Samam. Sorry, together. It's like there are a few words that mean together. Samam, sakam, or saha. And also, if you see in your, anyway, we'll connect it later on. Tatra, next. Tatra. Well, it's a
Undeclinable there.
There. Does anybody have the undeclinable list? I just want to check if it's there. Because actually it is, it is undeclinable here. Just as tataha. Undeclinable.
It is there.
Okay, it's there. Yeah. like tataha, there is a tadhita pratyaya in the meaning of the fifth vibhakti. So in same way, tatra, it's also undeclinable, but there is one thing. Tat plus tra and undeclinable, but the meaning is of the seventh vibhakti. Means there, yeah. Prarudantya. Prarudantya. Well, I can see a verb, rud, there. Rud means
Right.
to cry, yeah. Prarudantya, but what kind of form is, what kind of word it is? Is it a noun or a verb?
I have a question.
Yes.
Can I ask now?
Yeah.
I have downloaded Devanagari version of these verses, and instead of Tatra in this verse, Tasmin is given.
Oh, okay. Tasmin. Okay, so Tasmin actually means the same as Tatra. Tasmin is a proper vibhakti ending of the seventh case, seventh vibhakti.
Okay.
And Tatra, that tra, is a tadhita suffix that gives the word the meaning of the seventh vibhakti, basically.
Okay.
So meaning wise, Tasmin and Tatra are synonyms. And sometimes the Shastras have variant readings because, they were, passed down the history, down the ages through manuscripts, and therefore, we find variants in different sources.
All right.
So, yeah. Minor things. Sometimes there are major differences. Yeah. So this one is their small one.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so yeah, thank you for telling it. Yeah, it's interesting information. So samam tasmin, yeah. Prarudantya. So it's from prarud.
Is it past tense? Lit form?
Yeah, actually it is a present participle. Okay, so present participle. Yeah, we will we will come up with a reference material on participles also gradually. So prarudat. So if I say it's a present participle, how we would translate it? We had in the last verse yesterday, we had also present participles. So if you remember how we translated it, it might be translated into
Crying.
Crying, in a sense like while crying. Yeah, or it can be just more in an adjectival or adjectival way, translated like the crying boy. Okay, so that's the way we do it. According to the context, you judge how you translate it. More like a verb or more like an adjective. So we don't know yet. Prarudantya. So crying, or prarudantya. So prakrishtena. Pra often gives the verb the sense of abundance, okay, or excessiveness. So weeping, we can say.
Is it clip pratyaya?
Kshatri. So you see, prarudat, the word becomes prarudat, that at is kshatri. Then it becomes feminine when you apply ip, prarudati. And then when you apply vibhakti, all that num comes, and all those other elements. So it becomes prarudantyaha. And this is what case? Yeah. It's let's mention that it's feminine. Feminine. 1, 3. it could be also 2, 3. Yeah.
Does the verbs have feminine and gender difference for the verbs?
No, it's a participle. Once the verb becomes a participle, you know, most of the participle you can decline with vibhaktis.
So
Except,
this is prarudantyaha, right?
prarudantyaha. Yeah, sorry, I should mention the visarga. Yeah, prarudantyaha. Prarudantyaha. From prarudat.
What would be the male form for this?
What are you asking?
What would be the masculine form for this?
Prarudantaha. Prarudantaha. Okay, so prarudantyaha, weeping. When you study participles, you have to know both verbs and nouns, because it kind of plays in the both camps. You know, you may expect the rules from both the parts of grammar applying, and actually, you know, they do. Both nominal rules and verbal rules apply for participles. So in that way, ideally, before studying participles, you know already nouns and you know the verbs. But you can catch a lot just by, you know, observing as well. Upadravan. Upadravan. Well, it's definitely not a noun. Upadravan. Okay, it's a verb. Upa plus the root. Upadravan. So who could tell me the root? Any guesses? Even if you don't know, you may still guess just to kind of Dru, actually. Dru. But Dru. And the ending is un. It's past tense. Long tense. And it is 1.3. Like abhavan, from the dhatu bhu, becomes abhavan. So that u turns into av. So in same way here, dru into drav. Okay. Upadravan. Upadravan. And let's look up upadru. Upadru. Okay, to run near to run towards. Okay. Dravati. Dravati, to run. Okay. Can also mean to attack, assault, to rush. So we'll keep that in mind.
Here it is upadravan, right?
Yeah, upadravan. Sorry. Yeah, I need to make it into long. Yeah, upadravan. Upadravan because in the past tense there is one suffix coming right before the verb, short a. Okay, so it's you get upa, then you get that short a, and then the verb. So then the two a's they merge into and becomes upadravan. So let's say ran out. Okay, or sorry, ran near. Okay. So let's do the first verse. The verb, and this was the verb actually, yeah. Upadravan. So because it's first person plural, we need a plural subject, also first person, means he, she, they. Actually, in this case, would be they. So yatudhanyaha. Okay, they, the demonesses, they upadravan. Any object? Where did they ran near to what? Nishkramya. No, there is no. Okay, we have subordinate verbs. Prarudantyaha. Okay, while weeping. And we have nishkramya, coming out. Now, connecting other words. Tataha nishkramya lankayaha. Where do I connect tataha and lankayaha?
To the verb.
Which one?
I thought upadravan.
Nishkramya, coming out from Lankaya.
Yes. It makes more sense to connect it to nishkramya because nishkramya means coming out, and then tataha and lankayaha will be actually in the fifth case. Yeah, as a source, and not a sambandha, but the source. Tataha lankayaha. Or 1 second, coming out from Lanka. And one more thing I wanted to add here. So tataha can also mean after that. It can mean from that, because of that, and I just forgot about it. It could mean after that. So, and especially it comes right in the beginning of the verse. So I would like to use that meaning. After that. Very often when you see tataha in the beginning, it means after that, especially if it's a narration or story. So after that, okay, we'll connect it to something.
It means after Ravana fell.
Yes. Yeah, after that incident described previously. Yeah, after that. So then Mandodarya Samam, with Mandodari. Okay, Samam means together or with Mandodari. Where do we connect that? Dhanyaha tatra prarudantya upadravan. Yeah, could be connected to demonesses along with Mandodari. It depends. It could be connected to the activity that they ran together with Mandodari. Actually, it can be connected to the subject. It can be connected to the main verb. So what do you like more? I mean, it's an option. It's just purely grammatical, of course. I mean, ultimately it means the same thing, but yeah, Mandodariya samam tatra prarudanti upadravan. Okay, let's connect it to Yatudhanya. Sorry, yeah, correct. Together with Mandodari. Then Prarudantya Sahasrashaha. Okay, we have Sahasrashaha in thousands. In thousands.
It is Yatudanya, there are thousands of them.
But the thing is, Sahasrashaha,
MS is like
It's
opposite of
adverbial.
that.
It's adverbial. And therefore, it would be connected more to the verb. They ran in thousands. If it would be connected to the yatudhanis, it would, in Sanskrit, it would have been more likely stated as thousands of demonesses ran. But here sahasrashaha is an adverb, actually. So and adverbs are connected to verbs. Samam tatra there. Where do I connect there? Last word.
Upadravan.
Yes, upadravan there. It's a location of the action. So there meaning at that place somewhere. They ran. Okay, this is the first verse. And we have tataha, because after that, where do I connect it? It's a link between the two verses. So I don't know.
Thereafter, from Lanka, came out.
Yeah, thereafter, well, I just think to connect it to the verb, because if we are connecting two sentences, verb is kind of the central point of the sentence. So we can connect it here. Yeah, and yeah, we will choose the meaning after that. Next, we have second verse. Okay, so the first verse, the demonesses together with Mandodari. After that, the demonesses together with Mandodari ran near at that place in thousands while weeping. Okay, and having come out of Lanka. Okay, and while weeping. Okay, so that would be the sentence. Next, we have Swan Bandhun Parishvajya. Okay, Swan. Masculine 2-3, yeah. So it's a sarvanama. So yeah. Actually, it's an adjective, so in that way. Or anyway, of sva, masculine 2-3. Swan. Why it's repeated twice? Can anybody tell me?
H1.
It is pointing to individual.
Yes, exactly. That's the repetition is called vipsa in Sanskrit. It has a distributive sense. Means each their own. You know, swan. Then bandhun. Well, the same masculine 2-3 bandhun. Well, bandhu means a relative. Friend, or more specifically relatives. Okay, their own relatives. Parishvajya. What means parishvajya? Okay, I'm already taking the gerund. Pari and shvaj. Pari plus shvaj means to embrace. Shvaj. Okay, parishvajya. Embracing. Embracing. Lakshmane Shubhir. What is with Lakshmane?
0.3.
Lakshmana Ishubihi.
Noun must, yeah, Lakshmana.
It's a compound. Ishubhihi. And Ishu, we already know it means arrow.
Arrow.
So,
By the arrows.
okay.
By the arrows of Lakshmana.
Lakshmana's arrows. 3-3. Ishubhi, I think it's neuter. 3-3. By Lakshmana's arrows. Arditan. Arditan. Does anybody know the meaning of ard?
To afflict.
Ard means to afflict, to torment. Okay, so an ardita is a participle. It's a passive participle. So somebody was tormented, and we decline it here in the masculine 2-3. Tormented. And I just read Lakshmana Ishubhi, so yeah, tormented, or we can say, yeah, hurt, yeah, hurt by Lakshmana's arrows. So that would be the karta, the subject of Arditan. Rurudu. Rurudu. I see some reduplication here. Ruru. So it's a
past tense lit.
Yes, lit of rud. From rud meaning to cry. So they cried. Cried. And it's 1-3. Rud. So the us, the ending is us. Rud us. Rurudu. Susvarang. Susvaram. Well, svara means voice or sound. So susvaram. Su means special, okay? And with voice, it means like pleasant, or, yeah, as a voice. So susvaram, pleasant voice, yeah, or beautiful voice. And which vibhakti is here? 2-1. And I think it's neuter. So beautiful voice. Dina, what's Dina?
Lowly.
Like,
okay, poor, yeah, in a sense of like wretched, poor, pitiful. But is it a feminine? what it is. What's the ending on it? Are we talking about one lady?
Dinaha. Dinaha.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay, so is it masculine or feminine?
Masculine.
Masculine.
Mm-hmm. Well, it could be also be feminine if it's 1-3. They
Radha.
they look the same.
Yes.
Dina and Dina in plural 1-3 look the same. So Dina, so we can say poor.
Feminine here.
Gnantya. Gnantya. I will not tell you now because you already seen something similar. Gnantya. Anyone who can catch it faster?
Present participle.
Yes. Okay, present participle. Yeah, we have prarudantya. So you see that plural 1-3 of the feminine form of that present participle look very similar. Prarudantya and then gnantya. But now the question is, what's the verb here? Gnantya. Han, yeah. Gnantya. Han has a special, quite a few rules just for Han. And it's gnantyaha. Yeah, visarga is deleted. Why you can say that visarga is deleted? Because if you look at it, gnantya atmanam, you might ask, why no sandhi? Gnantya and then atmanam. Normally you would always, they would always merge.
Join together.
But then, yeah, exactly. If you see anywhere in the verses, if you see such situation where there are two vowels side by side and sandhi is not done, even though, you could have done sandhi, it's the sure sign of the deleted visarga. So that's the tip that you can note. Two vowels side by side, which would otherwise have merged or transformed by sandhi, and they don't do that. That's why it's deleted visarga. So gnantyaha means from han means to kill, and it can also mean hurt while hurting. Okay, atmanam.
Here change the
Which case?
So Nantyaha on the top present participle. What is the prefix?
No. It's just present. It's not past. It's present participle.
No, present participle.
Okay.
There you are saying pra plus han. Is it pra?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I I just copied the box. That's why it came all together with that. Yeah, there is nothing. It's just han and then at or shatri suffix. So then, yeah, atmanam. So it comes from atma, atman. It's a neuter word, atman, ending in consonant n, atman. And you decline it just like rajan in our reference material. There is a table for rajan. Atmanam. It is what?
2.1.
2.1. So what does it mean? Atma has a list of meanings. Can mean the soul, body, mind, yeah, all those things. Okay, and then there is one more, atmana. Atmanam, atmana.
3.1.
Yeah, atmana. It's 3.1. So, and whenever you see atmanam, atmana, it kind of atman in this kind of conventional usage, it means like himself, oneself by oneself. Okay, where oneself is an object And here we can.
The pillar of the soul.
No, this has nothing to do with the soul. It's like a pronoun, a reflective pronoun, or we can translate it as themselves here, as an object, as a generic. Okay, we mentioned it in the last meeting that when you mention things in a generic way, you can use a singular. So themselves and atmana, by themselves. Okay. By oneself, it would be the literal meaning. And we apply it to the context. So we are talking about many of them. So therefore, by themselves. So whenever you see atmanam atmana, it's most likely nothing about the soul. It's about oneself by oneself. Okay. Okay, so Ruruduhu cried, and there are two secondary verbs, or yeah, there. One is gerund, one is a present participle. Both can function as actions. Okay, so who is the karta? Who is the doer here? Anything do we have in the first case plural?
Dina.
We have Dina. Yes, we have it, but I would prefer to keep it as an adjective. Okay, because we are not introducing a new subject. We rather have the same. It's the Yatudhanis. They continue to be the subject of Rurudu, but they are also described as Dinas. So anyway, for time being, I'll just connect it here for simplicity. Okay, so the poor demonesses, they cried. Cried is, yeah, intransitive. It has no object. Embracing what or whom? Bandhun. Okay, bandhun would be the more immediate connection. And which kind of bandhun? Swan. Relatives, their own. Okay, so each demoness had her own relative, most likely the son or the husband that were there. And then, okay, Lakshmaneshu Birarditan. Well, that is, you need to put together the numbers. 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. So it all comes together. Bandhun. Okay, which kind of relatives who were hurt? Hurt by Lakshmana's arrows. So that would be connected to hurt as a subject. So Lakshman's arrows are kind of, yeah. Next, Suswaram Atmanam Atmana. So where do we connect Suswaram? A beautiful voice. But
Crying very.
Like an adverb.
Although they
Yes,
cried, it was
exactly. It's an adverb. And I have actually in the second version of the material on the meanings of vibhaktis, I have added that specific meaning of the second vibhakti, adverbial. And this is a very nice example of it. So how would I translate it then as an adverb? Beautiful voice becomes an adverb. With well, in English you would more naturally say in beautiful voices, maybe. Am I right? Any native speakers can confirm. So in beautiful voices they cried, which is quite nice actually description. Okay, so definitely their relatives were killed. They were not just hurt, but the word arditan is used nevertheless, so it's kind of understood that they were hurt to the point of being dead. And then atmanam atmana, themselves by themselves. Where do I connect that? Well, looking at the line, hurting themselves, it's an object actually. While hurting. Sorry, yeah. It's it's not a gerund. Well, okay. It's the subject. It's just visheshan of the poor demonesses, and not while hurting. Sorry, I translated it as a gerund. Let's say who were hurting. Who were hurting. You see, in English it sounds like a verb, but you try to think it in a Sanskrit way. In Sanskrit, it is an adjective. So let's say, let's give it another example, like the hurting child, or I don't know, the hurting person. Yeah, like that. So the demoness, the hurting poor demonesses.
Those who are hurting.
Yes, those who were, but it's just it just makes it look like a verb. So let's just leave it as hurting, and you keep in mind that it's just an adjective. So present participles are they're kind of adjectives, just like past participles also. They are adjectives, like arditan. Yeah, here we have a past participle. So it's relatives who were hurt, okay? So here we have, yeah, the demonesses who were hurting, or the hurting demonesses. Okay, but it because it is a kridanta, it is a specific kridanta that can take an object, like it's like a small verb there. So hurting themselves by themselves, atmana. So let's connect it here as, and the tritiya here would be probably instrumental. Okay, sorry, instrumental. And Srila Prabhupada in his Bhāgavatam, he translates it that they were striking their breasts by themselves, like that. So you imagine it, yeah, you imagine, yeah, kind of, he paints a more visual picture for the reader. We are just being here quite dry and literal, but this is what it's meant, that they, yeah, imagine a demoness crying over the body of her lost husband or son and striking herself, her own body, with her own hands. So this is what it is. So they cried in beautiful voices while embracing their relatives who were killed by Lakshman's arrows, and they kind of striking. Okay, so I'll read translations from Srila Prabhupada's Bhāgavatam, just like that. Thereafter, I'm starting with the first verse, which is here. Okay. Thereafter, all the women whose husbands had fallen in the battle, headed by Mandodari, the wife of Ravana, came out of Lanka, continuously crying. Prarudantyaha. They approached the dead bodies of Ravana and the other Rakshasas. So they approached. Here you see Upadrava. They ran near. Okay. It's kind of implied where near to what they ran. Then the second verse, striking their breasts in affliction because their husbands had been killed by the arrows of Lakshmana, the women embraced their respective husbands and cried piteously in voices appealing to everyone. So that's susvaram, voices appealing to everyone. In susvaram, let me see susvaram. Susvaram, in Prabhupada's word for word, it's translated, it was very sweet to hear. Sweet voices of regret, or yeah. Anyway, so this is how the verses are connected. Do you have any questions?
It should be, what is the verb?
Oh, which one?
You said it's neuter. It should be. You said it's neuter.
Yeah.
So what's the main form of the
Issue.
episodic issue?
Yeah. Issue. Okay. Any other observations or? Okay, so just to wrap it up, again, we had a good exercise on noticing the gerunds. Okay, many of them end in ya, like parishvajya, nishkramya, because the verbs are prefixed. Okay, there is some prefix on the verb, then the ya is there. Then prarudantya, another one here. Okay, this was actually, sorry, this is present participle. Okay, prarudantya, gnantya, and we had the point of two vowels standing side by side and no sandhi is done, and you can't have mistakes in such texts, so therefore it's a clear sign of deleted visarga. So this is another nice point to take. And yeah, a duplicated verb, ruruduhu. Okay, yatu dhanyaha. Okay, we kind of traced that it cannot be yatu dhana because yatu dhana will never have such a vibhakti ending. So then we found out that it's yatu dhani actually. So you may find such cases somewhere else. Okay, so nice 2 verses today. And just let me make an announcement. So can I close this whiteboard?
Sure, Prabhu.
Okay, fine. So one announcement is there that you can now support the reading room from your heart, if you wish so, if you find it helpful. Yeah, I have in a Sanskrit reading room on the website, in the member zone, I have added some links how you can do it. It's voluntary support, would be very much appreciated. Yeah, so if you can kindly support us, that would be very helpful. Yeah. And yeah, I would like to ask Vaikuntapati, can you say a couple of words about yourself? Can you introduce yourself to the rest of the group, if possible?
Just 1 second, Prabhu.
Okay.
Just coming back now. 1 second.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, I am Vaikuntha Pantidas from Mayapur.
Okay.
I am very happy to join in this course. It's very systematic, word by word. We know the meaning and in which case everything. It's really a good course.
Mm. So yeah, what do you do in Mayapur, and what brings you here? Yeah.
I am serving in Rasamrita Kunj on housing project.
Okay.
I am interested in Sanskrit. I have been reading it basic from last 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
So that brought me here. It's a good place now.
Prabhuji?
So yes, nice. Thank you, Vaikuntapati.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, we want to ask you.
Yeah.
You know Dayal Gauranga Prabhu in Mayapur?
Dayal Gaura.